Hey guys, Mike back here for another video, guys. Today we will be looking at the defensive back wide receiver interaction blog. Let's get right into it, guys. Madden 18 brings a unique meta game to the gridiron with new wide receiver defensive back mechanics, tailored for MUT squads but available for all users in all game modes. The battle that happens between wide receivers and defensive backs will have a bigger impact in the passing game. Highlight coverage. The highlight coverage indicator is an on the field assignment that tells you your user control player about his assignment in the pass coverage based on the play that's called. When applicable, you'll see the lines linking your player to the receiver he should be leveraging in his zone or in man coverage, as well as recommended path arrow showing you where he should be moving to properly leverage his targets. This tool is critical in learning all the right reads in pass coverage and can be easily turned off. So pretty much what that means is when you're user controlling your guy, you're going to see the zone around you and see exactly where you should be. With that in mind, you're also going to see a little arrow indicating where the receiver who's about to run in your zone, where he's probably going to go. Is he going to go upward? Is he going to go downward? Is he going to go left and right? You can actually see where the receiver is going to go, so you can properly actually cover him a little bit better. With that in mind, next one we have here is going to be press mechanics. When controlling defender in coverage who is in range to press the receiver, there's a whole bunch of interactions available by using right stick. The defender can press right or left on the stick to funnel the receiver to either side, which in man or zone coverage. Also, when in man coverage, there are two additional presses available. You can be more aggressive and go for the jam straight down the middle of the receiver, or when playing off about 3 to 4 yards, you can press up on the right stick to look up to the receiver, following him up the field. The interaction triggered will completely contextualize based on the coverage card from the playbook menu. You'll see chunks in a zone coverage and presses in man coverage. When using the press mechanics, there's a risk and reward to decisions you make. So make sure to decide when you want to take away when pressing, and use your teammates help to your advantage. The animations will be decided by the strength rating much up between the two players, which win and loss of results is matched up by press versus beat press release. And the first time in Madden history you can actually manually press a tight end. So pretty much strength rating actually matters, release rating actually matters. So let's say you do have your guy, like one-on-one, you pressing him against the receiver. His strength rating, if he's stronger than your cornerback, he's most likely going to beat your corner. And, if he has better release, or really good release, he's most likely going to beat your corner. So, if you're going against someone like Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald, who has really good release, really good strength, most of the time, they're going to beat your cornerback. But if you're going against someone like, let's say, John Ross, who probably isn't that strong, or doesn't have that good release, he's most likely going to lose. With that in mind, that's why you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision, should you press the guy, or should you play off a little bit? Obviously, again, both sides have a risk and reward benefit. Contextual auto chunks. Another big game changer for defense coverage is a new auto interaction when the receiver and defender run into each other during the route. You'll see contextual appropriate two players animations that take into account the assignments of both players as well as the awareness rating. In some cases, this can throw off the timing of your route just long enough to get the pass rush home, or even take one of the players completely out of the play if he is not aware enough to know what to do on contact. So pretty much, we'll say two receivers are running the same direction. They might hit into each other, and because their awareness isn't that good, one will fall down or be taken out of play. Same thing with defense. Wide receiver release mechanics. On offense, for every press a defender can execute, the receiver can have a counter mechanic to either avoid being pressed altogether or counter out every press once in an interaction when controlling a receiver and applicating a press or chunk from the defender over the top of you. There are 4 different techniques available to avoid the press. So if you're getting pressed, it's not OP toward the defense. It's not like, okay, well, I have a bad receiver that can't get off, press because he has bad release. No, it doesn't mean that every single time the defender is going to win. There is going to be some time when your receivers win based on these mechanics. First is the just go release on Alt or right trigger, which will give your player a sprint start, but in extra spectacular. To the jam command. You want to be smart about using this release as it carries heavy risk of getting locked up by the pressing DB when used in the correct situation. It should be used primarily when not applicating a press. So pretty much you can use this just go release on right when the ball is snapped, but there's a chance that your guy will get locked up by the defensive back pressing and jamming him at the line of scrimmage. So although yes, there is a chance, there's a better chance of him getting locked up because you use this technique. So although yes, there's there's a chance you can get away, there's also a better chance that you won't. With that in mind, I actually forgot to cover tight ends are now pressable for the first time in Madden history. You could never press a tight end before. Now you can actually press them. The most useful counter against the press are the modified releases. There are a conservative change-up release on A or X and the aggressive foot fire release on X square. X and then slash square button. These can be steered to either right or left with the left analog stick to try and evade the defender. You want to get a feel for the defender tendencies and coverage so you know which one is most likely to get your player open on your side of your route. Lastly, there's standard release, which is simply stealing off the ball with left analog stick. This release will definitely get your receiver jammed at the line, so you only want to use this when you see the defender is playing off coverage. It's the slowest, most controlled release off the line. So again, if you are getting pressed and jammed, just go release is probably what you want to use. If the guy's playing off, use a standard release. Again, they're all conservative change-up release and aggressive footwork, a foot fire release, which is going to be 2 different things depending on what, again, the defensive back is doing to your receiver. The meta game between the wide receiver and defensive backs lies in the direction of each player chooses when the ball is snapped, as well as heavily influenced by the ratings of the players involved. If receivers want to release the inside, but the defender is pressing the inside, the defender will have much higher chance to win that interaction, prevent your receiver from getting into his route on time or any separation. You'll see different outcomes from elite players that are not available for players who aren't rated as highly. These are the tables that show base results for each action relative to defensive back pressing versus wide receiver release if all ratings are equal. So standard height, standard straight. Wide receiver loss, wide receiver loss, wide receiver loss. Standard right, wide receiver loss, wide receiver loss, wide receiver loss. Just go, wide receiver loss, wide receiver loss, wide receiver loss. As you guys see, this is defensive back jammed, right stick down, right stick right, and right stick left. As the receiver loses in all these. Now, this is actually where the receiver wins. Change up straight. The receiver super win, and then, of course, loss both again. Change up right. Wide receiver win. Wide receiver loss. Wide receiver super win. Change up left. Wide receiver wins. Wide receiver super win. Wide receiver loss. Foot fire straight. Wide receiver super loss. Loss. And then, of course, foot fire right. Wide receiver loss, super loss, and then super win. And then foot fire left, super loss, super win, and loss. So, yeah. This is a lot, guys. Cut out of press mechanics. Don't worry if you guess wrong and fail to avoid being pressed. When you're playing as a receiver and finding yourself in a press interaction, you can attempt to cut out of the press and get into your route by using the right analog stick in any direction based on the leverage of the defender and the direction the receiver is trying to release. You see you see many different techniques and outcomes for the receivers trying to get open. The win-loss results of the interaction is based on the receiver's beat press strength ratings versus defender's press strength ratings. Route running and cut move mechanics. Once you go into your route stem and out of any interactions that may trigger off the line, there are some important mechanics to know when finishing your route. The left analog stick will steal the receiver anywhere you want him to go. But when using left analog stick, you cannot make any sharp cuts to gain separation. To make sharp cuts, you must hold down the RB/R1 button to lock your current movement direction and then flicker the right stick in one of 8 directions to make a sharp cut. This can be used as a combo as to make double moves and fake out man coverage defenders. Left analog stick control will not return until the RB/R1 button is released. So if when you're making that sharp cut, if let's say you're going to the left here and you're doing that slant route, you cannot make a sharp cut up, all around like you could in old Maddens. You literally have to push in RB or R1, flick in whatever direction you want to go, the right analog stick, and then your guy will just quickly, in like record time, skip right there and go in that direction. Call for the ball. Lastly, we improved our current call for the ball mechanic to give a visual indicator to the quarterback that you're open. When you want the ball, simply press the A or X button and your player will light up to tell your quarterback in what squads you will open. This will accompanied by a call for the ball animation. While these mechanics will spawn for team play styles for MUT squads, all available to use in all game mode, including franchise mode, MUT, online, head-to-head. Even the AI control players will use this mechanic, again, based on heavily those assignments on the given play call and the relevant ratings to each situation. The new metadata completely changes the way the passing game plays, and wide receiver defensive back mechanics are something that you want to get familiar with to become a Madden champion. Whew! That was a lot of information, guys. So that's going to be the defensive back wide receiver interactions. What do I think about it? It's really, really cool. It's definitely a lot more in-depth and a lot more unique and, specific to this. So I really like that. I really like how much, ball they went into this. Again, there's the press and the actual strength, press and release actually matter this year. With that in mind, again, if you're a wide receiver, you have different release techniques that you have to use. If you're a corner, you have different press and, like let off mechanics you have to use. And of course, target passing, as I covered in a previous video. But, calling for the ball. And there's so much in depth. Guys, tell me down below what you guys think. But again, so much new information, guys. Very excited about Madden 18. I'll see you guys.